Hello, this is Dave Hurwitz at ClassicsToday.com, here to tell you about what is now my reference edition of the Saint-Saëns piano concertos. It's this one, Louis Lortie with the BBC Philharmonic under Edward Gardner. Now, I reviewed originally on Classics Today, and you can see them over there if you'd like, the recording of concertos numbers 3 and 5. The Egyptian is like a particular favorite. The opening of the third is gorgeous. It's like an underwater version of the beginning of Schubert's Ninth. So go listen to those if you haven't heard them yet. Why is this series so terrific? First of all, let's talk about the music a little bit. You know, it gets kind of taken for granted when it isn't completely dismissed as, frivolous and kind of lightweight and uninteresting and derivative, which it's not, by the way. It really ought to be played with a certain amount of power. Usually it's played with as faux Mendelssohn, it's all light and dainty and cute and sweet. But you have to remember, Saint-Saëns was a very close friend of Liszt and an admirer. The two of them admired each other. Saint-Saëns made his kooky transcription of the Danse Macabre, and Saint-Saëns worked with Liszt in the performance of Samson and Delilah, and they were close, and they respected each other. And Saint-Saëns was every bit part of that tradition, the Liszt tradition of virtuosity. His music is really technically flashy, but you can play technical flash in a sort of what I think Tovey used to call the glass chandelier style, somewhat brittle and bubbly, or you can really rip into it and make it exciting and give it some virility and a sense of power and energy. And that's exactly what Louis Lortie does. I mean, it really makes a huge difference. I mean, even in the second movement of the second concerto, that lovely light scherzo, full of, you could call it Mendelssohnian because it does have all of these little cute curly cues and details in it, but play it with the clarity that they do here. The opening with the timpani, and it makes a world of difference. That central tune, the big da 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 da, you can slow down just a bit to emphasize the rhythm without being vulgar. And that's exactly what Lortie does. And he's really helped by Edward Gardner and his conductor, and even the BBC Philharmonic, which is an orchestra that I very seldom have cause to praise because I think that they're by nature professional but terribly uninteresting. It just goes to show if the conductor knows what he's doing, you're going to get really good results because the conductor knows what he's doing. And these are some of the most trenchant and rhythmically taught and colorful accompaniments that these concertos have ever had. In the fourth concerto particularly, it's an odd piece. It has a variation movement and then sort of a chorale and fugue thing, and it's in two movements. It's the most Lutheran piece of music that Saint-Saëns ever wrote, you might want to say. And it's austere on the one hand and brilliant on the other. And playing of this kind of security and impact, and with a real foundation puts a real foundation on the music, and lets Lortie express his sense of fantasy and his chops, quite simply, which are second to none. So if you're looking for a great cycle of Saint-Saëns piano concertos, this is now the one to own, in my opinion. It really is. They are absolutely wonderful, and they really may change your view of the music. So thank you, and keep on listening, folks.